Let me know if you can hear it.
Yeah.
Can you hear this?
Yeah, I can. Very well.
Very well. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Woo-hoo! Yeah!
It's strange to do it when you are sick.
I know! Yes! Yes! Hello? Hello? Hello. Welcome to Health Formers. You came to the right place. Hello?
Hello, how are you?
How are you? Okay. Ready?
Good. Let's go. Yes.
Let's go. Welcome to Health Farmers Age of the Plant podcast, episode 2.
Woo!
And we have here our very special guest for today, Raphael Tripet.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Lucy.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you here today. And it's Easter Friday.
It is.
It is. Okay, so I know you've been looking forward to this very much.
Yeah.
And that is, you know that you get a special chance. You have one shot at choosing the tone of voice you'd like me to introduce you in.
Okay. I've been thinking about it for last couple of days. And I was thinking about how I can make it very interesting for your audience and so on. I was like, maybe the French sensual way to do it will become something great, but I'm not sure that it will give too much of value of to the introduction itself. So I thought about a very passionate, with strength, energy, and excitement. How you could do that tone of voice?
So a passionate,
excited voice.
Okay, can you give me an example, please?
So it will be like, please welcome Raphael Tripet. Does that sound good?
The passion, right?
Yes.
You want the passion.
The guts, the tricks.
Okay. All right, I've got this. You ready? You ready?
I am.
Okay. Are you curious about eating healthy, losing weight, sleeping better, having more energy, cultivating healthy relationship with self and others? You came to the right place. Over the last 3 years, our guest has completely reshaped his life. Formerly known as the quiet, chubby software engineer, he has become a well-balanced transformation leader.
Woo! Woo! So I felt like it.
His mission is to empower individuals to find the inner beauty, to love themselves fully, and to cultivate deep human connection, allowing them to make the change they desire. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing Raphael Tripet, born in the beautiful scenery of Switzerland and currently living in the sunny Australia. Raphael is a certified integrative nutrition health coach, PRINCE2 practitioner, and has 10 years of consulting experience in the banking industry. With no further ado, let us welcome Raphael!
Thank you.
I'm so excited.
I saw that. You lost your mic. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. You did it very well.
I did?
I'm impressed.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Okay, so you're familiar with how we run our podcast.
Yeah.
I will use this flywheel and then I'll choose a question. The flywheel will choose a question and you just answer and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, let's go for our first question then. Okay, first question we have here is, please share a quick and dirty healthy recipe, idea or life hack.
Oh, quick and dirty healthy recipe. I would say probably the first one that I've really came across with and that I really like and I keep making and so on, and it's extremely simple, extremely quick, is some spiced paprika roasted cauliflower.
Oh, okay. Tell me more.
So I got your intention.
Yeah.
So it was at the time when I was steaming all my veggies and so on during my body transformation, and I didn't really know how to cook and so on. And I come up with, I researched how to make cauliflower more tasty. And I got this very simple recipe, which was like, you cut your cauliflower into small florets. You put a bit of olive oil, a bit of paprika spice, mix everything into a big bowl, roast it into the oven for like 15 minutes at 180 degrees. And then it's amazing afterwards. And that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Just cut it up?
Yeah. Olive oil and paprika. And you mix the grisaille with, that's all. And then in the oven for 15 minutes. And that's it.
Wow. Okay. I think I'm going to try that tonight because I do have a full cauliflower in my fridge, which I haven't decided what to do with it yet.
That's a very good thing. And it tastes very good. And afterwards, you can try with different spice, whichever you like.
Okay. Well, thank you
get
for
it's dirty because you get your hands quite red from the olive oil and stuff. Yes, that could be a great episode for Age of the Plant.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Okay, next question.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, next one. This one's a deep one.
Ooh.
How do you stay healthy even when you don't want to cook, when you're feeling lazy or need a break?
That's a good one.
Yeah. It's hard, hey?
I never really asked me that question because even if I don't cook much, I will still like very quickly prepare something with, even if it's take 5 minutes or I would say I would go for some nuts. Like,
go for nuts.
Nuts is my go-to place. So I always have nuts at home, like macadamia and cashew, almond, and so on. And I will snack on that. The problem is that I tend not to have only one handful of nuts, but more the full bag.
That's probably a bit too much nuts.
Yes, that's when I'm extremely lazy.
Okay, and what about the 5-minute thing you said? What's the 5-minute tricks you do?
I mean, that could be just looking at what is my fridge, and if I have to chop some veggies that I have, or like simple as like a carrot. So just peel the carrots and eat the carrot like that.
Oh, okay. So it's just like eating it as naturally, and you're healthy, and it saves you time as well.
Yeah.
And it's just something you can snack on to.
Yeah.
Like,
Or I'm just thinking right now, I have my tea next to me, which is the thing, whenever I feel hungry and I'm not having anything right now, I can just drink and you usually fill your body or your bladder with that.
That's a very cool trick. I love doing this ginger, honey, and a little bit of cinnamon tea.
Yeah.
And it's so healthy, and it's just like when you feel like snacking, it's like a snack, but it's so healthy as well.
Yeah, definitely. I never
Okay.
put the honey with that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I put cinnamon everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Okay, next question.
Go for it.
Okay, this one. What triggered you to be health conscious and why?
That's the experience that I had after my 3 months body transformation, where I see the change in me, how they were compared to before. So I saw the impact inside me and on my quality of life outside as well. Like I was feeling much more energetic. I was sleeping better, and I attributed that to actually eating healthier. So all this all together made me feel like I don't really want to go back to the old chubby software engineer that I was, and be more actually loving what I'm doing, loving what I'm eating, and feeling all the health benefits behind.
And what made you to want to go into the journey of like going on that transformation you did though in the first place, from when you were chubby and then you decided what made you go, I don't want to be chubby anymore, I want to lose weight and start to go on this journey? So
that was very simple, quick trigger, which was I came back from holidays. I gained obviously a few kilos, and I wasn't able to fit in my walking pants. I wasn't able to close my belt. And that was like, damn, I need to change something. So that was the trigger. And then it took a year and a half to actually lose all the weight and to become healthy. But that was the initial trigger. And that's from that point onwards that I've started changing. And 3 months later, I was starting this body transformation program with a personal trainer. And for 3 months, I had to eat only steamed veggies and steamed steamed chicken, for example. And that was very, very boring food. I'm a foodie. I love my food. And when I'm not able to actually taste it or to have more variety and diversity in my food, I'm just, you lost me.
But you still managed to like go through that.
So I paid a lot of money for that. So that was a good way to actually commit to this transformation. And I wasn't expecting at all how I felt afterwards, all these health benefits that, for example, I used to drink a lot, and it used to take me a day to recover from drinking. Whereas after these 3 months where I was eating mainly non-processed food, I saw that first of all, I didn't feel like I wanted to drink as much as before. But secondly, as soon as I start drinking, or the next day when I felt a bit hangover, in like 2-3 hours, it was gone. It was like when I was back at my when I was 18, where you recover the next day almost intensely, and you can start again the following nights for 2-3 nights in a row. That I could have been able to do that again if I wanted to.
Okay, so like you just went on this journey thinking that you wanted to lose weight. That's all you had in mind. But you didn't expect that there will be all these additional benefits of like feeling the energy and all these like the energy it gives you. Like you weren't expecting it, and then you just decided to stick onto this road.
I became extremely conscious about nutrition. Start loving to cook everything by myself and trying things out in the kitchen. That's why I became extremely creative and experimenting a lot of things in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And from that time onwards, it didn't really bother me anymore to actually start and cook everything for myself. And with some, now that I have the experience of doing it for the past 2.5 years, I would say that at the beginning, it was a lot of trial and error for probably 6 months to a year. And now I found out my kind of routine where I love to cook, but I don't want to say also to take too much time cooking. And therefore, I will usually make a batch of like cooking batch. So therefore, I will have it for 3-4 days at most, and change everything every time something else. So I get the variety that I didn't have during these 3 months of the program, but I also don't spend too much time cooking throughout the week because of, if you cook every day, every meal, something that can take quite a lot of your time. So
okay, that's
finding
great.
my right balance between eating healthy and not spending too much time cooking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. I think batch cooking really is a really cool trick to stay healthy and not spend too much time every day in the kitchen.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Next question. Okay. This one's a funny one. If you could be any plant, what would it be?
If I could be any plant, what would it be? Wow. So plant, not necessarily veggies, or it can be also plant like a tree or something.
Anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one we came to mind was palm tree.
Palm tree.
Yes.
Okay. Why palm tree?
I will say that's a good. I was expecting that question, so. No, it's probably the thing of being in a place which usually have a lot of sun, and I can feel for myself, and that's why I love Australia so much. It's like the sun will have a good impact on your mood in general. So I can see today it's sunny outside compared to this morning, which was a bit gray. I can feel much better now that the sun is there. So the palm tree is to me an image which is associated with a lot of sun. And I would say also something which is close to the water, and which attract a lot of wind. And I love to feel the wind on my body. Like I used to live in an apartment which had a rooftop, and that was the only tower in the area. So sometimes I was just going on the rooftop and feeling the air, because it was quite windy from there, and just feeling the air going through. So that's palm tree would be the plant that I choose.
Because it's so important that being on this health journey, not only you eat healthy, you have to also connect with nature, and that's how you recharge your energy a lot of the times.
Definitely.
So I can see why you chose that. That's a good one. Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't know about that one before.
There you go. So you learned something.
Yeah, I'm a palm tree.
You're a palm tree. Okay, this one. So what were the biggest obstacle that you faced in going on this plant-based diet journey? And how did you overcome it?
I would say that's not knowing what to cook and not knowing how to make the food healthy, or not healthy, tasty.
Tasty, okay, yeah.
Because I remember that story where my personal trainer during that program was asking me to eat cabbage. And to me, I've never cooked cabbage before, so I didn't really know how to prepare it. And it looked like a lettuce. So I just went there and I was like, okay, I can eat it like a lettuce. So I start peeling the leaves, washing them, chopping them in small batch and eating it like that.
You
And
can.
it was disgusting. So I didn't, without any spice, without anything, to me, I was just like, oh, that's something I didn't like at all. So not knowing how to cook it and how very little spice can actually enhance the flavor of anything that you cook. And I'm seeing that as well with like the cauliflower, smoked paprika cauliflower that recipes that I've shared before. I've done it with my family, and my little brother never eat veggies or anything like that. However, whenever I've made that recipe to him, he was like, I like it. So it's a good point. It's a good thing, and that helps people transitioning from having or towards a more healthy journey and eating a bit more healthy in general.
Yeah, I may have a tip to help you with the cabbage. So I just released my Age of the Plants episode 3.
Yes.
Cabbage, C for cabbage. So go check it out. There's a recipe in there that you might end up liking cabbage going forward.
I actually wish that I had that video. I watched it earlier today, and I wish that I had that video when I was on my journey, because that would have helped me to make the cabbage taste much healthier.
Yeah, and it looks so
good.
simple. Hey, it's so simple.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's really knowing what's the tricks and hacks to just make it more tastier, and that's all. Yeah,
and something it doesn't need much, and you need maybe 2-3 minutes of preparation for something, which is great, but we just don't know about that. That's the thing. So that was my biggest my biggest struggle, to not know about how I can make the food taste healthy.
But how did you learn to make food tasty? Like, what resources did you dig into? Did you just do a lot of trial and error, or?
I would say a mix of trial and error I have a blank right now. Now there is one thing that I've done at that time that I know that helped me a lot. It was a lot. I've went to do a lot of cooking class, so I attended a lot of cooking class, and through that I could learn a lot of small things in the kitchen, even simply how to cut your veggies, how to hold your knife to cut your veggies properly. I didn't know how to hold my knife, and
I still don't do it properly.
So if you have the knife, you need to grab the beginning of the, if I'm thinking about a big knife, a chef knife, to grab the beginning of the blade. That's where you hold your knife, and therefore when you hold it just like that with 2 fingers, it's balanced. Whereas if you grab only the handle, the knife will fall further. So
okay, all right.
I don't have a knife right.
Okay, all right.
So yes, simple things like that, and I've done a lot of cooking class at that time, which helped me to learn a few different things. And then it's the creativity in the kitchen, just trying, seeing what I have in the pantry, and spice as well, and try a few things. And if I don't like it, you try something else, and you try some, and until sometimes you have like some big failure. I remember I had, I think I made a kind of soup with raw onions. That I don't advise you to try that.
Soup with raw onions.
Yes. So I have a blender, a Vitamix blender. So I just put raw onions, whatever, I think that was carrots or something like that. And the raw onions is extremely acidic somehow. And I ate it because I was by myself, and I was like, I don't like to waste some food, but to be honest, I never done it again.
You could have just heated up.
Sometimes you need to be lazy. That was one of your questions. When you are lazy, you just put everything into a blender.
Oh, so it's like it's a soup or it's a juice, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
the blenders that I have, it's a Vitanex, and if you leave it for a long time, it will create some heat. So it can make some soup
Oh,
directly from the blender.
wow.
However, no, not with raw onion.
Okay. So there you go. Remember that, listeners.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, next one. Okay, that was a repeat, so we have to continue.
That was my question that I had. Do you
Yeah.
also always,
Huh?
do you anytime get the same question? So I just said my answer.
Yeah, it does. Okay. This one. How do you feel after going plant-based?
I'm not totally plant-based, to be honest, but I feel I've reduced a lot the non-plant-based ingredients that I'm eating, and I feel in general much better. And I've seen as well some how my body and my skins especially react to eating more plant-based ingredients. Like I used to have a lot of pimples, especially on my forehead, and since I shifted to like, especially with the cheese. I'm from Switzerland, so I love to have cheese. I grew up with cheese, and now I could see how after a few days or of eating regularly cheese, I had some pimples which are like popping up on my forehead, whereas now I don't have that anymore. So I've seen how my body reacts to this kind of food because I completely removed it at one point and just starting to introduce them from time to time. And so the health benefit on your skin was also something which helped me to just stick to less animal product.
Yeah. And let me clarify. By plant-based, I meant by like you don't have to be 100% perfect plant-based, because that is like not everyone can do that. Even I'm not 100% plant-based. I'm probably now at like 95%, 90%, and I can still feel the massive benefits of it. Like what percent are you at? Like
I would say 70-30.
70, yeah. And I get when you mention about the pimple thing, I have that too. So like, because I've cleansed my body, I went on that 4 weeks where I deliberately did a 100% one, and these past few weeks I've been going more normal, and then every time after I eat some junk food, the next day I have pimples popping out straight away, which is good in a way, means the body's detoxing very fast.
Yeah. To me, my experience is every time that I'm eating trans fat. So that you find in cheese, in meat, but I never had that when I eat avocado or nuts, for instance. Or I mean, if I'm eating way too much nuts, yes, maybe. So it's more associated to the fat, but the saturated fat or trans fat that you find very commonly in trans food, in junk food.
Yeah, that's true. It's when I eat junk food, or when I like go outside and eat at the restaurants, because it's very oily the way they cook things, and then the next day it's just pimple. And then because of that, I naturally just don't feel like eating it as much because my body doesn't like it. So it's like I don't have to try not to eat it.
But that's I don't know if you had the same experience, but I remember back in the day I loved burger and having a big juicy fatty burger, and I was eating it without any problem. But things have changed. I've been to some places to a restaurant where I used to go before, and I order again the same burger, and that time when I ate it, I didn't have the same somehow satisfying feeling inside me. I was just like, it's just too greasy, too juicy, too fatty. Just I didn't feel the joy of eating it as much as before. It was more even sometimes even the opposite side. I was just like, oh no, I don't don't want to have that anymore.
Yeah, yeah. And then I think because I can totally get what you're saying. And I think it's because I was talking about this with my coach the other day. Like I used to love pizza. Like pizza is something that makes me go crazy. And then I had it the other day and I was just like, I eat it. I'm eating a lot of oil. It's really oily and I can just taste this texture, but it wasn't giving me the joy that I was in my memory that I was looking for. And then she said, like, maybe the joy we felt before was the marketing joy. It is what marketing told you you would feel after having a burger. But when you look at yourself, if you ask your body, how have you felt every time 30 minutes after you've had a burger or 30 minutes you've had a pizza? You've never felt well. Never.
Yeah.
It was the marketing thing. And then it's like resonated in our memory. And then we've craved it. And then when it's great that we tested it out, gave into our craving, tested it, and let our body tell us that, no, that's shit. We don't want that anymore.
To me, I feel I was eating burger or pizza or these kind of things like very regularly. So my body was constantly somehow inflamed and I wasn't really aware of feeling what my body truly react or how my body truly react to that. But since I've made that shift and that I'm much more healthier and eating more plant-based right now, I'm more aware whenever my body react to something that back in the day I didn't really feel like it because it was like numb by the amount that I was having. Like cheese is for me is a perfect example. I used to eat cheese every day since I was a kid, and right now if I'm having like Parmigiana, it's a cheese that I used to love and to eat in big quantity back in the day. Now I can feel that my tongue an hour or two after I ate it start to tear up. I can feel in my stomach that there is this, I don't know, fatty or whatever. I don't to digest it very well. So I'm like, okay, I just don't want to go for it anymore.
Yeah.
By having a period where you detox or you clean your body and you don't have this kind of food, you are becoming more aware afterwards when you have it just for once how your body react to that, because he has adapt somehow to your new way of feeding yourself.
And like I think we were having a conversation a couple of weeks ago about how we both accidentally gave up alcohol. That it's the exact same thing, right? Because you went through the same thing, how you used to drink a lot, and then after this process, you just didn't feel the need to drink anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's funny about alcohol because it's Eastern, and I'm like, back in the day, I would have eaten a lot of chocolate and also have some alcohol. And right now, I'm like, should I open a bottle? But I don't really. It just now it's becoming the marketing thing. It's like, they have been telling me it's Eastern, you have to eat chocolate or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like the thought of me eating Easter egg hasn't even popped into my head.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't drive me. I don't feel like it. Yeah.
I still eat a bit of chocolate, so I'm waiting for after Easter when all the chocolate goes on sale. Never buy it before, buy it after. But I'll be good. Only the dark black one.
The dark one, the dark one's good. Yeah. I now love dark vegan chocolates. That's what I go for now. And I used to never ever eat any dark chocolates at all. I would always go for the milk or the white chocolate. Yeah, but my taste buds has changed so much that I only like 100% dark vegan chocolate.
Yeah,
and I love it. Yeah,
I can definitely relate to that. And now for me, it's also this, when the chocolate is too sweet, it's like, hey, no, I don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
And I used to grow when I was growing up, the white chocolate was my go-to.
Yeah. And you used to have a sweet tooth, right? You said you also went through that. Sweet tooth thing. Yeah.
So the sweet tooth is, It's not gone. I'm still going from some sweet from time to time, but back in the day was like after every meal I needed my something sweet. Whereas now I can easily not having anything. Yeah.
And what do you do to replace when you do have that sweet tooth craving? What do you eat instead to replace it?
So cashew nuts is something that I love because it has this tiny sweet taste. And another one that I like is cinnamon. So I put cinnamon on mango, or I make a mango yogurt where I have the yogurt, natural yogurt by itself, peel a natural mango and put some cinnamon. And that cinnamon is a very good spice to actually tell your body that your taste buds that something is sweet, but it's actually not sweet.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's a cool trick.
Yeah, so cinnamon is one that I use everywhere. And what else? And I'm still having some chocolate from time to time, but the 90% dark chocolate.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My favorite sweet replacement now is agave is number one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, sweet. So from a syrup like that, it's maple syrup for me.
Yeah, that's also a good one. Yeah.
Or honey.
Raw honey. Yeah. Yeah. And once you taste it, you just don't like the taste of sugar anymore. It just tastes like artificial.
I cannot relate. It's been such a long time that I haven't really had something sweet or sugary that I don't really feel the taste of sugar. However, in the same sense, I've tried probably a chemical cinnamon paste from whichever brand, and this one I could taste that it was not the real cinnamon, and I was like, didn't like it.
Yeah.
You can definitely taste when the product is somehow not natural. When you become more aware of what you eat and how your body reacts and so on, you can easily taste when it's like processed food.
Yeah, so it's not as hard as everyone thinks. It's not as hard as I have to give up sugar or I have to give up what I like. It's just when your taste buds change, your body naturally tells you that I don't like it anymore. So it's effortless to give it up, right?
I wouldn't say it's effortless because you need to make that change at first, and that's the biggest, the hardest thing to do. But once you have adapted and your taste buds has adapted, it's like you are not having this crazy craving or not as much as you used to have. So yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Next question.
Yes.
Okay. 3 words to describe yourself. What are they?
That's interesting because I had a question. Was a training session that I'm doing, that I'm listening every morning, and he was asking me, I think that was Tuesday, about one more to describe yourself. And to me, the word which came instantly was funny. So, or smiley. I always like have a smile. Don't mind to break a joke or something like that. And I asked my girlfriend about that, and she told me calm. And I was like,
calm.
Oh, yeah, that's also very true. I'm staying very, very calm. I'm not like, ah!
That's more like me. Were you just making fun of me?
I told you I'm funny.
You. What's the third one?
And the third one was so coming into thinking about the journey that I went through at the beginning to really shift from where I used to be to now rigorous.
Rigorous.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
You have to stay disciplined and to make sure that you are following through on what you wanted to go to do.
Yeah. Because like, even though once you come out of the other end, your body will start to work for you. But at the beginning, it's all about discipline, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. Oh.
So a challenge is actually a very good thing to push you to
Yes.
motivated at the beginning.
Yeah. You're right. It's like, I'm just going on like a 10-day challenge, or I'm going on a 30-day challenge. Just makes it a lot less pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I'm just having a little competition with myself. It's a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can I do it?
Yeah.
Can I do it?
Yeah.
I'm actually doing a No Meat May challenge. One of my friends is the one which has started this movement over the internet like 4 or 5 years ago, and it's during the month of May, No Meat Project.
Okay.
So that's my next challenge.
I'm on it.
Okay, I'll send you the info.
Yeah.
And that will be my challenge to somehow stop meat altogether. But let's see how it works, and let's see how it goes. But that's a challenge, and see how I feel afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna feel amazing. I'm about to start my phase 2 of 100% plant-based diet, phase 2 challenge. Yeah, probably next week. I'm in the middle of getting all the ingredients ready. Then I'll start. Yeah, and I can't wait to get it officially started again. Because like, even though I'm not on any strict rules now, my body's actually stopped telling me like it wants meat. Like, I'll be asking myself every day, what do you feel like eating? Do you feel like having some chicken or fish? And when I do, my body has this reflex where my stomach just gets sick. It doesn't want it. Yeah. It's telling me it doesn't want it. And when I go, okay, do you want veggies? And it's like, you can feel the body tension just go away. So
that's like your stomach like closing up?
Yeah. When I go, like, do I feel like, going on, ordering online, do I feel like having grilled fish again, or some, my favorite karaoke chicken or whatever? My stomach just tenses up, and I could feel it like getting sick. I feel more sick. And when I go, okay, I'll go for the vegetarian, or I cook myself something, and it's like, it's happy.
Okay, that's interesting.
I've noticed this change, and I'm like, wow, I wasn't expecting it. Yeah,
that's interesting.
So you'll probably feel this after that 1 month.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Look, I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah.
In June.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We're almost time. This is probably going to be our last flywheel question. Yeah. Okay, show us the same thing again. It's playing up today. Keeps on going on the same thing. Okay, have you zagged since you became like healthy, more plant-based, and what was it?
Oh, you mean when the unhealthy way for pizza or for...
Yeah. What I meant by zag is when you're being healthy, very healthy, conscious, and zag is when you let yourself go and, have some whatever craving, give in to the cravings, have some junk, whatever. Yeah. And if you did, like, what was it, and how often do you do it? Because we're all human, right?
Yeah, definitely. I will say that when I started, I was extremely zigging and never zagging. For these 3 months, when I start eating everything, I stopped cold turkey from nothing. At that time, I think I had like 2 drinks during the entire 3 months, which was extremely good for me, knowing that I used to drink maybe 10 beer a night. Recently, I'm much less, I'm zigzagging, as I said, 70-30. So it's just, I'm trying to be mindful when I'm actually overeating. So it's not about what I'm eating anymore. It's more when I want to overeat, or I keep eating when I'm actually not hungry. And when was the last time that I zagged? Oh, I would say even, the last one yesterday or this morning.
Actually, just before this.
I was just having a piece of chocolate. So the last time I felt that I overate was like, for example, we had an avocado toast one morning, and my girlfriend went for, she was like, oh, I want another toast, peanuts with peanut butter. And I was like, yeah, I don't really feel like it, but it's been such a long time that I haven't had a peanut butter toast, so let's have it. And I had my toast, and afterwards I was like, oh, I feel that I've overate, and then I was like, I knew beforehand that I shouldn't have done it, but I did it anyway because I was somehow wanted to follow her and to the same feeling. So yeah, what was the question again?
Well, have you zagged since? And yeah, you
yeah,
have.
yeah.
So what would be advice to not do that? Like the scenario saying that you know you shouldn't eat it, but you still end up eating it. So what? And then you felt like shit afterwards. Like what advice would you give yourself?
So the advice that I give myself afterwards is to write down to journal about it whenever I feel like I want to eat something, and what is currently what I'm feeling currently, which make me want to eat that food, which I use actually for whenever I feel when I'm working and I feel like now you are working from home, it's very easy to actually go into the pantry, pick something and so on. And I was doing that too often. So by writing down what I feel at the time when I feel to eat something, that's helped me to be more aware and conscious about why I feel that way. And recently I found out that as soon as I felt a bit stressed at work, I was like, oh, okay, let's just have a break, and having a break or going to the kitchen will be something where I'm triggering unconsciously, because going to the kitchen is when I start cooking and I start eating something. So even sometime when I'm going to the kitchen to prepare tea or coffee, I'm like, oh, I have some nuts here, or somehow it's popping up into my mind that, oh, there is some food here, so I could have some as well. So it's becoming more aware of your triggers. And by writing about it, that's how that's my tips to myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a really interesting one, because when you note down, like you said, or you notice it's because you're stressed, and that's the trigger. So next time you know it's because of your stress, you just take a break and breathe, have some water, and maybe it'll go away like that. Go for a walk. Yeah, because you know there's other solutions than just eating.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I'll take note of that. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So tell me about what's going on with your business in the next few months.
So currently I've been putting it on pause somehow during the time where I started to have a big job on the side as a risk manager. And so what I'm doing currently is just starting again and looking for some clients to be able to help them to go through that health journey, but in a way that it's easy and they are being guided somehow through that journey, and how we are not removing food, but how we could help them, or I could help them to just replace food with something else and see how they react to that. And yeah, so from a business point of view, it's just building that again, or starting again to build that.
Yeah, and I think that's very important, because like at times like this, it's so important for us to be even more health conscious. And like the struggles you mentioned before, like your struggle was having to do it by yourself and you didn't know what you could eat. And so you're doing a lot of trial and error. So if now like you're offering this service, like it'll be, if you don't know where to start, you don't know what to replace with, we've got Raphael here. Yeah. And you're talking about that. Is there any like special offer or something?
So for the listener of the Health Former podcast, you can go and contact me directly on my website, Hearty Wellness. And if you mention that you are coming from the Health Former podcast, that's a promo code. I'll give you a free healthy story session.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
And how long is it valid for? And is there any limit to it?
So I will say 3 for the first 3 person which contacted me, and that will be valid for a month.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
until I start my no meat May challenge, end of the month.
Okay, because you're only human, you only can take so many, right? And you want to make sure you give the quality service that you desire.
Definitely.
Well, that's
quality
great.
is the key thing.
Yeah. So if you're looking for it, I'll make sure the website address is popped into the description as well, so you can go find it there. www.heartywellness.com. It'll be in the descriptions. Okay. And our final question. So, our goal of Health Formers is that our goal is to influence and impact as many people as we can globally to join us in this plant-based diet movement, whether it is you're going from now to 70%, 80%, 90%, or even 100%, as long as you're making progress. It's progress that matters, and it's all about how can we all transform our health one bite at a time together. So, which health hero can you help invite to join our next Health Formers podcast?
So I will say I'm part of the Sydney vegan market. So I have a few people that I know over there, which would be great guests for your podcast. And the first one is Ryan. I can't remember his last name, but I will share it with you, which is the one which started the No Meat May challenge, and that's a global movement. So that would be someone that you could also learn from how he went through his plant-based and vegan journey. The other one is Michael, which is a vegan activist. And I've had the chance to talk about health and veganism in general with him, and he is a very, very clever head. So he knows a lot about everything and how the animal industry is also working, but so that would be 2 persons that I will recommend you to invite. And I can introduce you if you want to.
Yes, please. Yes, please. I'll be like, I'll look forward to chatting to them, and maybe the May Vegan Challenge he can announce it on this podcast and get even more people on board.
That would be the perfect thing. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Raphael. It's been
my pleasure.
Interesting hearing you share like your personal experience and the little tips and tricks, which is what I found really valuable. And so thank you so much for your time. So we will be having our Health Formers podcast launched every Monday going forward. If you enjoy what you're listening, spread the love. Share it with your loved ones so they can all benefit from this health journey. Let me know what you like or what you'd like to hear more of, so I can give you be able to provide the content that you're looking for, and so you can find value in it. And so for you, Raphael, we have a sign-off slogan for our guest, and that is live healthy, live happy, and then ha ha ha, laugh it out. So there you go.
So live healthy, live happy.
Live healthy, live happy. Woo!
Thank you. Much appreciated. My pleasure to be on your show.
Thank you so much, Raphael.
Thank you, Lucy. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Episode number 2. Woohoo! Having more energy, reshaped his life. Chubby transformation leader. And to cultivate deep human connection, they desire of Switzerland. Wow. Raphael Tripet. Am I saying your name right?
Yes.
Oh my God, yes. I was exercising the other night, and then work called as I was doing CrossFit. So when I picked up the phone call, I was like, Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. I'll get right onto it. I bet the other person on the phone was like, what the hell was she up to? And I'll call it Date with Lucy.
That's a good one.
This will be fun. And a dash of cinnamon. No way am I going to process durian in my kitchen.
Challenge.
It will be. It will be.
It's a kangaroo.
A kangaroo. I just noticed it now. That's so cute.
Imperfectly perfect.
What? Hang on. You got it the wrong way round.
Let me prime a bit.
Voice off like this, and it'll sound funny.
Okay.
Damn it. Sexy French voice.
Oh. Are you curious about eating healthy?
See Raphael, man, you know, just act it out. Be all sexy.
Okay. Sleeping better. Having more energy.
Japanese kids think I'm so cute.
Yeah.
I'm so cute.
Hello. Are you curious about eating healthy, losing weight, sleeping better? You came to the right place. Over the last 3 years. Indeed you have. Cutie voice.
Yay!
Bunny here.
Yes! Yes!
Just
Really? I look forward to it. This is gonna be exciting. Yay!
bye bye.